test for the veteran head coach with a young and inexperienced squad to work with.
Right now we're pleased. We've got 30 sophomores that are playing for us and 24 juniors and about 14 seniors. So I guess you would say that we're a young team, but we're really pleased with their enthusiasm, and believe it or not, we're a little bit bigger for Elida. In fact, we're a lot bigger for Elida. We've got 4 or 5 guys that are over 200 pounds.
Dowley's biggest worry in '86 should be at the quarterback position, the key to his patented run-and-shoot offense. And last year's QB, Scott Cooper, graduated.
Oh, it's a wide-open thing right now. B.J. Free, the junior, is working in there, and also Kerry Hill, who's a sophomore. So the two of them are kind of finding out. We're just going to wait till after the scrimmages to see what's going to happen.
There are some key players Dowley can rely on in '86, including track star Joe Lombardo and basketball star Tom Nider, who stands out at 6'6". But defense has been a Bulldog trademark in the past, and this year's D is a question mark.
We're really young on the defense, and we're kind of scrambling over there right now. And I really can't even mention any names because we're just shuffling people in and trying to find a spot for people.
The young squad will make it tough for Dowley come fall, but he is a proven winner. 101 coaching victories, and he believes the team can be competitive in the always tough Western Buckeye League.
I don't know how it's possible, but it looks like that it's even more balanced than what it has been in the past. It's just a great league.
Any favorite?
I don't, I'd have to mention at least 5 or 6. So it's going to be one of those things, I think, that on any Friday night that you could get beat by any of them.
Come on, these are news locally. Throw out the records, let's play football. In Elida, the Bulldogs pull off the big upset, knocking off state-ranked Bath 3-0 the final. Here's Jeff Fitzgerald with highlights.
The estimated 4,000 fans on hand for the renewing of this rivalry saw an awesome defensive battle. This one stayed scoreless until late in the fourth quarter. Elida had a chance to put 7 on the scoreboard late, but Corey Edwards is popped. He coughs up the pigskin. The referees pull everyone from the pile. Bath recovers. They dodge bullet number 1. But Edwards had 1 bullet left in the chamber. A 38-yard field goal try with 11 seconds left in the game. Watch the referee in the lower left-hand corner. He'll tell you the story. The final, Elida 3, Bath nothing. From Kraft Stadium in Elida, Jeff Fitzgerald, TV 35 Sports.
Thank you, Jeff. They are partying. This was supposed to be a big night in Elida, and it was, but the rain spoiling festivities a bit. The homecoming balloons released prematurely with the game delayed more than 30 minutes because of rain and lightning. They finally got it going, and it was a good game. Elida leading 3-0 at the half. Second half, Salina's Jay Knopf dives into the end zone, 7-3 Salina. Elida came right back on their next drive. Quarterback Kerry Hill finds fleet-footed Joe Lombardo. Big play here, but surprisingly, Lombardo caught from behind. 7 plays later, fullback Corey Edwards will get into the end zone. Watch it here. That's the way it ended, folks. Elida upsets Salina 10-7. Meanwhile, in Bath, the Wildcats get out the services of Elida. A tough assignment for the Bulldogs. They battled undefeated Wapakoneta without the services of star wingback Joe Lombardo, and it was the Redskins rolling big. Here's Mark Beyer with highlights.
We pick it up in the second quarter. The Redskins' first touchdown set up when quarterback Darren Stiles looks long and finds Brian Bidwell deep into Elida territory. The very next play, Stiles rolling to his right, turns it upfield, and takes the ball over the goal line for a 7-0 Wapak lead. Less than a minute later, the Redskins score again, this time on defense. Number 35, John Recop, steps in front of a Kerry Hill pass and races untouched 30 yards for the TD, 14-0 Redskins. Wapak wasn't through yet in the second period. After a fumble recovery by number 62, Pat Heyer, the Skins score again. Sophomore tailback Eric Rodriguez getting the call, sweeping left, eluding Bulldog tacklers, and finding the corner of the end zone for a 14-yard touchdown. The Redskins win it going away and remain perfect at 7-0. Mark Beyer reporting for TV 35 Sports.
Thank you, Mark. That Rodriguez is a player. Preview, the Elida Bulldogs. This is a team rich in tradition, but the last couple of years have been down ones from Jim Dowley and company. Hopefully, Bulldog fans say that will stop this season.
Yeah, we struggled a little bit at the end of last year, but we're quite excited about the bunch coming. A lot of enthusiasm. We've got about 62 kids out, and right now they're working hard.
For years, the Bulldog offense has revolved around its quarterback, the famous run-and-shoot offense. But this year, junior Kerry Hill will have some help with a new look for the Dogs.
Yeah, a little bit of change. I said our quarterbacks usually have to run for his life because we play with little linemen, and 160-pound tackles were kind of the common thing here. But fortunately, we've got a veteran line that averages over 200 pounds, and that's the first time ever for Elida, and we're going to do a little more two-back offense.
Plus, there's excitement in the flanker position. Sophomore Tony Rowe and freshman Preston Carpenter both are sprinters and will also carry the football this fall. Elida's defense, well, the usual, quick and aggressive. This is Jim Daly's 20th season at Elida, and it seems this summer he's having some fun. Is he mellowing a bit? Maybe, but the credit goes to the kids.
I think that we have more experience, of course, in many of the key positions. I think that's the big thing. And then we had a lot of young kids play last year, and I think that that's really going to help, having them have a year experience and being able to come back as veterans, and they're still underclassmen. A lot of these kids are juniors. They played last year as sophomores. So we always talk about chemistry of a team, and our seniors so far have really done a great job of leading, and the more that they'll handle, the more we give to them. So maybe that's it.
Elida opens its season September 4th against Bulldogs against Maumee. Win or lose, Bulldog fans show up for their favorite team. Head coach Jim Daly hoping that 1987 can be a turnaround of 86, and so far so good. Elida was leading 7-0 third. Watch the super effort by junior Tony Metzger. Up and over, 12 yards on the carry, and it set up Elida's second touchdown. Quarterback Kerry Hill back to pass. He finds who else but Metzger in the flash. Finds his way into the end zone. Extra point was good. 14-0 Dogs. The key tonight, though, for Elida, their defense, stopping Maumee all night, and a big night for junior Kurt Moore. Elida couldn't be stopped on the ground either, pounding out 243 yards, rushing Corey Edwards there for the final touchdown. Elida wins it 20-0 the final.
This evening between Crosstown Western Buckeye League rivals, here's Jeff Fitzgerald with all the highlights from the Elida Shawnee contest.
Shawnee head coach Pete Moore had his Indians fired up tonight, folks, at least defensively anyway. Early on with the game scoreless, Elida driving. Watch the hit on the Bulldogs' Corey Edwards. The ball squirts loose into the end zone. Senior Matt Fisher recovers for Shawnee. Elida comes up empty. This game would stay scoreless until 5:04 left in the third quarter. The mini refrigerator, all 230 pounds of him, Derek Brown, bowls his way in from 11 yards out. The conversion was good. 7-0 Indians. Elida couldn't move the pigskin all night, folks, until the final 2 minutes of the contest. Here, quarterback Kerry Hill hits Preston Patterson over the middle. Elida was driving. But with 54 seconds left in the contest, watch Hill scrambling. He gets rocked from behind, fumbles the ball, and guess who's there to recover again? Yes, Matt Fisher. He gets a bit excited. Shawnee holds on for a 7-0 win over Elida. From Shawnee High School, Jeff Fitzgerald, TV 35 Sports.
Meanwhile, at Elida, good game. Bulldogs lead Kenton 7-0. Wildcats, though, threatening fourth down, and watch Elida's Tony Crish make the 2 interceptions. Elida goes to 2-1 with a big win over Kenton. In Ottawa, it's buddy, week 5 of the high school football regular season. At the top of the sports tonight, the showdown in Bath. Anytime you have two rivals get together, expect a battle, and that's what happened in a 7-0 Elida victory. Let's go to Bath. The strong winds and cold temperatures didn't dampen the spirits of the Wildcat fans tonight. They're crazy, aren't they? But it was Elida that heated up early on, scoring the game's only touchdown. Second quarter, a Bath turnover setting up this. Junior quarterback Kerry Hill racing into the end zone for the touchdown. 3 yards on the score. Extra point was good. 7-0 Bulldogs. Bath had an opportunity late fourth quarter. The Wildcats carry Morris punting to Richie Reynolds, who fumbles. And the Bath squad recovers. 4 plays later, junior quarterback Todd Stone back to pass. He's rushed, gets the ball away, but is intercepted by Elida's John Nibel. The Bulldogs go to 4-1 with a 7-0 climb. Meanwhile, over at Lofty, big game slated for tomorrow night in St. Mary's. The Rough Riders host surprising Elida. Ball club that is young, yet tied for first in the Western Buckeye League, battling for the playoffs.
Well, we hope to be. We knew that we were sound in some places, and we didn't know in other places, and the kids have done a real good job of putting it together. We keep talking about chemistry, but, you know, in sports, I really think chemistry is the secret.
There's been a lot of keys to this ball club, but the one thing I've noticed all year that's been truly solid has been the defense.
Yeah, defense has played extremely well. We felt that our offensive line has played extremely well, too. And as I said, that we pushed team, and we think we've kept field position both offensively and defensively, and we're really proud of what our special teams have done.
The team concept has been a key, but so has some super individual performances. Quarterback Kerry Hill directing the offense. and sharing the workload with fullback Corey Edwards. And on defense, everybody's been super, but Kurt Moore stands at the top. The Bulldogs are ranked 4th in Division II Region 8. Wins over St. Mary's and Van Wert would more than likely mean a playoff berth for Elida. But Daly isn't looking ahead.
The only way we get there is to beat St. Mary's. Then whatever comes after that, fine. St. Mary's is tough to beat any time, but playing at St. Mary's makes it just that much more difficult. But we're confident.
Tomorrow night at 6, the key for the Bulldogs to beat St. Mary's. It will be a dandy. We'll be down there tomorrow night, and at 11 we'll have highlights. Second to last week of the high school football regular season commences this evening around the area. Our concentration will be in St. Mary's, where first place of the Western Buckeye League will be at stake. Co-leader Elida will be taking on the Rough Riders, and Bulldog coach Jim Daly confident tonight.
We think that we got to control the ball. They got a great offensive ball club, and that Slosser is a super back and a great offensive line. And we think that the offense has got to control the game.
Going into the game, the Bulldogs tied with Van Wert for first place in the WBL. Elida also needs this victory to stay close to a playoff berth. They currently stand 4th. It's a big, big game down in St. Mary's. Our TV 35 cameras will be there to bring back highlights. Buddy, busy night for high school football. We'll kick off our coverage in St. Mary's, where first place up for grabs in the Western Buckeye League. Elida trying to stay there and keep alive their hopes for a playoff berth, but the Rough Riders proving rude hosts tonight, whipping the Bulldogs. Here's Jeff Lansley with highlights from St. Mary's.
It was the Tony Nieder show tonight in St. Mary's. The junior tailback just too much for Elida, scoring 4 touchdowns. The first on this nifty fake reverse around left end. The play would cover 19 yards. Nieder had 6, and the Rough Riders had the quick lead. That 6-0 balls would grow to 12 just 6 minutes later. Again, it was Nieder, this time busting through the Bulldogs front line and finding the far sideline to his liking. Nobody will catch Nieder this time. 59 yards to pay dirt. Extra point was missed. It was 12-0 St. Mary's. Third quarter now with St. Mary's on top, 18-0. Elida's first possession was golden. Quarterback Kerry Hill rolls left, fires to a sprawling Brian Howland in the end zone. 12-yard touchdown, 18-7 St. Mary's. But the Goose would lay no more eggs for Elida tonight. St. Mary's final touchdown came when Nieder, who rushed for 190 yards this evening. He would take the reverse handoff, going 14 yards around left end. The Rough Riders destroy Elida 24-7. From St. Mary's, Jeff Lansley reporting for TV 35 Sports.
The Goose would lay no more eggs. Thank you, Jeff. There is now a 5-way tie for the lead in the WBL. We'll get to the scores a little bit later, but St. Mary's, Elida, Kenton, Van Wert, and Bath all tied for first. We end the night with a 5-way tie for first. We end the evening with Fry champions. Van Wert gains a share by ripping Elida. 28-7 the final. There's Jeff Lansley with highlights from Kraft Stadium.
It was a cold, crisp night, but it didn't seem to bother the huge throng of fans in Elida this evening. This is first quarter action. Van Wert already on top 8-zip, but Elida in orange. That's Corey Edwards. He would score what would prove to be Elida's only touchdown of the night, a 6-yard TD. That made it 8-7 Cougars. The rest of the highlights belong to Van Wert. Third quarter, senior quarterback Brent Spray rolls to his right and drills one to Bill Witherow. Extra point was good, 15-7 Van Wert. To the fourth quarter now, and Van Wert would capitalize on an Elida turnover. That's 210-pound junior Trent Cloud going up and over the top from the 1. That made it 21-7 Cougars. And then the big play for Van Wert came when Witherow picked off this Cherry Hill pass. Witherow would return it 49 yards for 6. Van Wert gains a share of the WBL crown with a big 28-7 win over Elida. From Elida High School, Jeff Lansley reporting for TV 35 Sports.
Campaign. Tonight, we take a look at the Bulldogs of Elida.
Inexperienced at most positions, but great speed. That is a pretty good description of the 1988 Elida Bulldogs football team. 21st year now for Jim Daly as the general, and third year for Kerry Hill at QB. Hill is being counted on heavily along with split end Jody May to improve on last season's 7-3 mark.
Kerry Hill will be back for his third year at quarterback, and of course that's a big plus for us. But up front, we lost all of our line except for Darren Reitz. So we're looking for a line with that exception of the one tackle. And at split end, Jody May, the all-league receiver, is back, and then we've got some people battling for the other spot, which is open. In the backfield with Kerry, we lost Corey Edwards, our fullback. So we have Kirkgood and Sean Chaney are battling right there, and at the halfback spots, we got Tony Metzger and Preston Patterson.
Defensively, look for Curtis Thompson, John Neville, and Richard Stott, all veterans to hold down the opposition. The Bulldogs fell just a game short of time for the Western Buckeye title last season, and Daly thinks the same could happen again this year.
Well, I think the league will shape up pretty much the same as it did last year. From week to week, you didn't know, especially the top 5 people. You know, I forget how many combinations there were on the last week. In fact, if we had won our last game, we would have been one of the champs in there. But Van Wert beat us out, and they stepped in instead. But that's the type of league it is. I just think that it's going to be extremely competitive, like it always is, and I don't know who's going to win.
Now, come on, Jim. Elida has a great shot to win it, don't they?
I hope so. I would like to think so. We're certainly going to go out after it.
All the experts are saying Elida should be at or near the top of the WBL come season end.
Give me more of a...
And the Bulldogs open their season this year at Maumee. Let's look at sports. Mark is back with more.
Nothing. Different story tonight. Highlights from a jam-packed Kraft Stadium. It was crowded, folks. Elida coach Jim Daly feeling pretty good about his club these days, while just the opposite for Larry Lewis and Shawnee. His Indians were rocked. All Elida in this one, and a big night for Kerry Hill. The Bulldog signal caller here fires a 19-yard touchdown pass to Jody May. Nice catch by the split end. Bulldogs led 14-0. Elida wasn't through either. Watch this. Hill, the bomb to speedster Tony Rowe. Rowe goes into the end zone, 34 yards of the touch. It was 20-0. Shawnee couldn't move the football. Bulldogs didn't have any trouble. Hill with his 4th touchdown pass of the first half. May for 15 yards. Elida looking good with 2 blowout wins to start the year. 40-6 the final do battle. Jeff Lanzi with a look at the bitter rivalry.
That goes back a long time. Bath and Elida. In the past 9 years, neither team has beaten the other more than 2 straight times. Bulldog head coach Jim Daly says more than anything, tradition plays a big part.
Fantastic tradition as far as 2 schools playing, and I know it goes back into the early 60s easy, and it's always been a great game for both teams, and it's always been a great draw.
I think probably, Jeff, the biggest thing from our standpoint is the fact that we haven't beaten them in 2 years, and rarely does that go on very long between the 2 schools, and it's just kids that are seniors have not at the varsity level beaten Elida yet, and that's something you don't want to have leave you with when you graduate.
As a matter of fact, Bath hasn't even scored a point on Elida in 2 years. A lot of similarities, though, do highlight these 2 teams. Both have lost key players to injury, Tony Metzger of Elida and Bath's Chip Davis. Both are 4-0. Both have beaten Shawnee and Kenton. Both teams' nicknames contain 8 letters, and both coaches agreed to give me a prediction.
Very close game, and I don't think it's going to be a 7-0 or a 3-0 or a 14-12.
A prediction? Well, I'm not going to predict losing. We'd like to think we're going to win.
So the stage is now set. One team will remain undefeated after Friday night, while the other suffers its first defeat. Now, if you plan on coming to this game Friday night, you better get here awfully early, because by game time, these stands will be packed. From Kraft Memorial Stadium, Jeff Lanzi reporting for TV 35 Sports.
Thank you, Jeff. It should be again. Bulldogs prevailed 12-9. There's Jeff Lanzi with highlights from Kraft Stadium.
An overflow crowd in Elida Friday night, and it was homecoming for the Bulldogs. A defensive battle until late in the 4th quarter. Under 6 minutes left. Elida's sophomore speedster Preston Patterson broke it big. Down the far sidelines, almost tripped up at the 10, but he manages to get in. Extra point was missed. 6-0 Elida. Then following a Patterson fumble, Bath moved it down to the 1. Todd Stone bowled in from there. There was no time left. An extra point would win it, but Aaron Strubel's PAT is blocked. 6-6 heading into overtime. Bath got it first in the extra session. Elida held, and Strubel booted it from 36 yards out, making it 9-6 Bath. Then it was Elida's turn on 3rd and 7. Kerry Hill, take a look as he finds Jody May in the corner of the end zone. Elida had the win. They stayed perfect at 5-0. Kraft Stadium erupted. 12-9 was the final. From Elida High School, Jeff Lanzi reporting for TV 35 Sports.
What a game. Now Elida moving in sole possession of first place now in the WBL. Tonight at Kraft Stadium, they held off a stubborn Salina squad. 6-0 the final. Highlights from Elida and nearly a full house on hand to watch the Battle of Bulldogs. Elida head coach Jim Daly has his club rolling so far this year. But Salina was definitely a struggle tonight. Here's the game's only touchdown. Quarterback Kerry Hill back to pass. He finds Jody May. May looks like he was going to go down, but keeps breaking tackles. Once he finds the opening, he becomes a blur. 37 yards for the score. Elida led 6-0. Salina definitely had its chances. Here, late first half, Drew Braun to attempt a 37-yard field goal. A bad snap. Tries to throw for the first down, but he's intercepted by Elida's Matt Duffy. The lead was still 6-0. Late fourth quarter, Salina with one last chance. 4th and 18. Quarterback Dave Hoyne throws the bomb to nobody. No one got to it in time. Elida now 6-0, all alone in first place for WVL. 6-0 to final tonight, and we'll get to the highlights in a moment. But the story of the night in Elida, where the Bulldogs lose for the first time this season, Wapakoneta pulls off the upset in overtime. 25-22 the final. Here's Jeff Lange with highlights in Kraft Stadium.
Elida head coach Jim Daly looking tense as the Bulldogs went after win number 8 tonight. We picked this one up in the second quarter. And a defensive lineman's dream. Wapak's Paul Rogers pass picked off by number 66, Paul Bigelow, and watch the 5'9", 180-pound senior go. The only question was, could he go the distance? Bigelow just does make it in. Extra point was missed. 13-3 Elida at the half. To the third quarter now. Wapak's Eric Rodriguez goes off right tackle. Makes a great cutback there. 21 yards for the score. Elida still led 13-11. Elida led 19-11 with less than 2 minutes to go. Quarterback Paul Rogers goes around right end 5 yards to make it 19-17. Then the must two-point conversion, the handoff to Dane Donaldson, then back to Rogers, who just does get in the corner of the end zone. The game was deadlocked at 19, and into overtime we went. In the extra session, Elida settled for a 27-yard field goal off the foot of Jody May, 22-19 Elida. But then Wapak got their chance. 3rd and goal. The pitch to Tim Martin, the pump fake, and then a bullet into the arms of Eric Rodriguez. Elida was beaten for the first time this year. Wapakoneta stunning the Bulldogs on their home field. 25-22 was the final. From Elida High School, Jeff Lange reporting for TV 35 Sports.
A full house watching the Bulldogs go down to the wire for the second straight week and again come up short. This time, St. Mary's pulls off the win in overtime, 28-21 the final. Let's go to highlights from Kraft Stadium. The Dogs were barking tonight, and with good reason. Jim Daly had his club out to a 14-0 lead, but the Rough Riders battled back behind the running of All-State candidate Scott Schlosser. Here, somehow keeping his balance, setting up St. Mary's first touchdown. It was a quarterback sneak by Derek Turner, 14-7 Elida. Then Schlosser finds pay dirt here. Second quarter, the extra point was no good. Bulldogs still led 14-13 at the half. Second half, big play here. Elida quarterback Kerry Hill back to pass. The rush is on. Charlie Baker hit his arm. The ball is loose, and Chris Wang will go all the way for the touchdown. The two-point conversion was good. 21-14 St. Mary. The Bulldogs, though, rally. This is 4th down. Hill finds favorite wide receiver Jody May. Touchdown. Extra point was good. Game tied at 21. Now, Elida had a chance to win in regulation. Driving with time running out, but Hill intercepted. Jamie Norton tipped the ball to Todd Bowman. End of threat. We had overtime. Now, St. Mary's got the ball first in the extra session, and they would capitalize. Turner from the 4-yard line going around left end, and he will get into the end zone. Big guy for a quarterback. Gets in. Extra point was good. St. Mary's celebrating. They led by 7, but it wasn't over yet. Or was it? On Elida's first possession, they couldn't get a first down. On 4th down, Hill's pass incomplete. St. Mary stays alive in the race for the Western Buckeye League title and a possible playoff berth. Elida loses the second straight tough game. Final 28-21. That would change in a hurry. Spartans went on a 13-2 spurt with full court pressure. Armando Watts with the steal in the hoop, and then Malcolm Martin gets the turnover, converts. Suddenly, Lima Sr. with the lead, 14-12. The lead would go back and forth all night. Preston Patterson showing some scoring punch from three-point land. Got it. The Spartans' main man, Richard Glover, in the lane. He converts. Glover with 24. But Glover would foul out late fourth quarter, and the Spartans would go to Malcolm Martin. Big basket here. Senior High led 60-57. Elida battled right back. Watch Kerry Hill stepped inside the three-point lane. Only counted for 2. The Dogs go down by 1. Martin would ice then with 2 free throws with 3 seconds left. He finished with 24. A desperation try by Elida at the buzzer off the mark. Senior High escaped 62-59. Vince Koza, TV 35 Sports.
We start tonight with high school basketball and a great matchup at the Elida Fieldhouse. The Bulldogs hosting Bath and hoping to avenge an earlier season 1-point loss to the Wildcats. Now, I want you to take a look at two of the more animated coaches on the sidelines, talking about Elida's Chris Adams doing his thing right there, and, of course, Bass Mark Shine with a little more reserved approach. Tight first quarter, both teams trading baskets throughout. Elida's Jeff Cashel burying one from the corner there. At the other end, falling to the floor. Look at Bobby Hall get it to go. Elida led by 3 after one quarter. Bulldogs built that lead to 8 at the half. I'm sure Chris Adams didn't design it this way, but he'll take it just before the buzzer. Look at Will Brown weave his way to the hoop. It goes off the window. They went to the locker room with Elida on top, 34-26. Fourth quarter now. Bass down by as many as 11. Tied it on free throws. That was Sean Hussey there. But with just seconds remaining, Terry Hill hit a couple of tosses on a questionable intentional foul call, and that was it. Elida hangs on. Fourth straight win now. 51-47 was your final in that one. Playing some pretty good ball lately until this weekend. Beaten last night by Ottawa Glandorf. Tonight, Elida making it look rather easy against the Indians. Why don't you take a look now from the Elida Fieldhouse. Head coach Jeff Easton trying to figure out just how to get his Shawnee squad back on the winning track. Thought it would work going inside. It did early. That skipped right for the bucket. Hard work, though, paying off for Elida. Jeff Castro with the miss. Watch the putback by Ben Curry. Will not go, but look at Will Brown. Third time a charm, no doubt. Brown finished with 12. Hey, super nice for point guard Terry Hill. 12 points for the senior. He did a super job running the offense for the Bulldogs. He also had a handful of assists for head coach Chris Adams. One of those assists here, the pass into Ben Curry. Curry turns and buries the short J. Shawnee's Matt Otto led all scorers with 20 points. Not nearly enough, though. Elida goes on to a rather easy win, beating Shawnee in WBL play. Final 55-46. Side to the score.
Basketball regular season winding down. We begin with a battle tonight in Elida. Two teams hoping to keep their slim hopes alive for a Western Buckeye League title. The Bulldogs hosting Van Wert. Let's go to highlights in the Elida Fieldhouse. Nearly a full house on hand to watch this one tonight, and they saw Elida dominate the early going. Now watch the good passing here. Jeff Cashel to Ben Curry to 6'10" Will Brown. Now how can you miss Will Brown? And then sophomore Jeff Cashel with a pretty baseline drive in the hoop. Dogs led 20-11. Cougars, though, battled back, relying on the shooting of Shane Neat, the lefty popping from three-point range from the left and from the right. Part of a 17-8 run. We were tied at 28. The big gun for Elida, sophomore Ben Curry. 14 first-half points. Dogs went into the locker room up by 4, 34-30. They stretched that lead to 9 again, third quarter. Cashel dialing long distance, three-point style, 47-38. But the Cougars wouldn't quit and tied the game at 59 behind freshman Joe Gardner. Now, this kid has an awkward shooting style, folks, but he was the star tonight. He had 5 of 8 three-pointers and helping the Cougars go ahead and then win going away. He finished with 15 points. The Cougars stay alive in hopes of a WBL crown, beating Elida 78-68 the final. Now, Salina has at least a share of the Western Buckeye League Championship. It's the first time since 1979. And the Bulldogs clinched at least a tie tonight with a win over Wapakoneta. Jeff Blanzy has highlights from Wapak.